Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
The Lloydminster Fire Department came forward to council this week looking to update the current fire service bylaw in place. Last updated in 2020, the fire services bylaw serves to provide guidance and direction for fire protection in the city. The fire department felt that this change was required this year.
4 years is a reasonable length of time to take a look at it from the perspective of, is it current? Is there things have changed both at a provincial or national level in the fire service, fire prevention? Certainly, as you notice, fireworks was addressed in that because that is always a concern.
On top of changes to the way fireworks are distributed in the city, all commercial properties now must have their addresses visible on the front of their property.
The fire department is there to service, but they're also there to help prevent fires, and that's certainly some of the parts of the fire service bylaw is ensuring prevention of fires so that we don't have to call the fire department to put out a fire at home or in the public areas of the city. So I think that's what the bylaw certainly helps address, as well, just to make sure that it's modernized.
The annual Street Fest is planned for Lloydminster next month. Stacey Comer spoke with one of the organizers to find out what is on the schedule and how people can help out.
We're joined today on Primetime Local News by Sandra Brown. Sandra is a recreation programmer with the City of Lloydminster. Sandra, thank you for joining me today.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
Sandra, we want to talk about Street Fest today, and that's coming up next month, but now is the time for people to get involved. So there are a couple of things. There is still room for a few people if they want to be a vendor or have something at Street Fest, but volunteers are also needed. So let's talk about the vendor side of things first. About how many spaces do you have left and what's involved with that?
We have approximately 10 spaces available. We have some space in the kids zone as well as the vendor fair. So applications are all online. You just go to lloydminster.ca/streetfest. The vendor fair is mostly made up of businesses that are out of the event site, and also some groups that are wanting to engage with the community. So it's a great opportunity to let Lloydminster folks and all the event attendees know exactly what you're all about.
Well, and of course, with every event, volunteers are so important, and this is no different, Sandra. So what are you looking for volunteers for as far as what people can sign up to do if they're interested for helping out for an hour or, the entire day?
We're looking for volunteers basically for 2-hour shifts. If they'd like to stay for 4 hours or for the whole day, that's fine as well. Manning bounce units. We need some help with the lineup for the wagon rides, general setup and cleanup. The information booth is kind of our central spot. So all the volunteers will be checking into there. So we do need a few adults looking after that tent for us.
And if people would like to volunteer for this, do they just go to the city website then, or how do they do that?
They would also go to lloydminster.ca/streetfest, and that's where we have the call for buskers, call for volunteers. The vendor applications are open until May 31st. We've closed the food fair vendors. We're completely full in that area. But we do have space, like we said, for some other vendors to join us.
And if people haven't been to Street Fest before, Sandra, can you explain what happens that day?
Well, we are very excited for this year's Street Fest. This is our 13th annual event, and it happens in downtown Lloydminster on closed-off streets. We've actually expanded the event site about another block and a half. We've added new zones. We've also added many new family-friendly activities. So the public are welcome to come down. There's no charge to attend. And there's different interactive activities. There's going to be entire block, actually, of bounce units, interactive games. Some of the local community groups are going to be offering tattoos and different activities with the kids. Then we'll have a car show in the adventure zone, as well as the food fair, farmers market, which sold out very quickly. The vendor fair sport zone will have the pedal go-karts on a racetrack. And something new in the sport zone this year is a street tournament. So we're offering, it's free to sign up for. We're encouraging teams of 10 players to sign up, and you can compete for prizes. And this is sponsored by Factory Sports Excellence. And it's something new for the event, and it's for kind of focused on under 5 to under 11 age players. And with an event this size, I just want to do a shout out for our returning presenting sponsor. Uh, they are the Anderson Insurance Group cooperators, and they are a wonderful group to deal with and give back so much in our community.
Well, Sandra, what is the date of Street Fest this year and what time does it start and end?
Actually, it's on Saturday, June 8th. To kick off the event, the Olive Tree is doing a pancake breakfast by donation, as well as the event itself runs from 11 in the morning until 4 that afternoon.
All right, Sandra. Well, we're going to move on to just one more subject quick, just because we have an event that is happening this weekend here in Lloydminster that we'd like to touch on as well. And that is the Spring Community Garage Sale. So tell me a little bit about what is planned for that.
The spring cleanup garage sale is, we do it, it's an annual event. We actually run 2 every year in the spring and the fall. This particular one has sold out. The field house is full with more than 60 tables, and more than 20 vendors will be set up. And folks can come out. There's no charge, plenty of free parking in our parking lot. Bring your shopping bag or two. This event is tomorrow, starts at 8:30 in the morning, runs till 2 in the afternoon. And vendors will be set up. I've spoken with many of them, and from antiques, equipment, sports equipment, hockey memorabilia, a lot of collectibles are coming this year. So it should be a very exciting day.
All right, Sandra. Well, thank you so much for that. So, once again, Street Fest coming up in June and the Community Garage Sale tomorrow. So, thank you for joining me, Sandra. I really appreciate it. And we are looking forward to both events.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
The Sticks Billiards and Lounge is well known in the border city. The business is having a grand reopening, and Stacey Comer found out what is planned for the event.
We have a special guest joining us today on Primetime Local News. Strider Lacoste is here. Strider is the owner and director of The Sticks. I just want to welcome you to the show today. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about The Sticks. This is a well-known place in Lloydminster, and you guys are doing a grand reopening coming up here starting next week. So can you tell me a little bit about what is planned for the grand reopening?
Well, I have planned pool tournaments for the weekend. We'll do karaoke all weekend, all day long.
And why are you doing this grand reopening?
Because it's fun, and I like to do fun stuff. And why not, right? I mean,
And what has changed at the Sticks? What are some of the changes that have happened, and some of the reasons you really want to showcase the facility now?
there's some interesting changes, I guess. Physically, the structure hasn't changed. The tables have new cloth on them, but not a lot has changed. The upgrades have come in the form of karaoke room. I guess there's been some upgrades there with the ability to do more karaoke, I guess, or the lights and black lights, that sort of thing. But actually, not a lot has changed.
But you are really focusing on bringing in live music and different events
Yes.
too. So tell me a little bit about that. Are you booking all different types of bands and entertainment?
Oh yes, any kind. There's no preference. So we've had Bonfire Moon here. Um, I don't know, you know them. They're local legends, right? And
Right.
then also Filipino band Jam Start. I don't know, you probably maybe not have heard of them, but they played at the Filipino Festival last year. They're going to play again this year. They do a lot of. They're one of the very first bands we ever had here after I took over. So they're going to be back for the weekend coming up for the grand reopening, and then talking to a couple other people to see if they want to come out and play. If anyone wants to come out and play over the weekend, they're more than welcome to, of course. And what else? Live music. We do Fall of Earth will be here this fall or this summer, and Las Mambas, all-girl band from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which is a cover top 40 rock pop kind of band, and Fall of Earth is more on the heavier side. We've got punk rock bands here. We've got the local legend, of course, Kid Midnight and the Midnight Kids. You know them. They've played here a few times now, and they played just a couple weekends ago to great crowds. And so, yeah, we do anything. Keep it open for anybody. We'll do magic shows if you want. I don't care.
And people can book events there as well, correct? If they want to host maybe a birthday party or a stagette or a corporate event or something like that, that's also a perfect location for that, correct?
Yes, it's all on the table. Nice private back room. It's quiet back there. You can have your own music. You can do a private karaoke party if you want, or different games like Name That Tune or trivia nights or anything. Corporate parties are good. Christmas parties are a big hit. Birthdays, yeah, anything. Any kind of event that you want. It's up to 100 people in the room. So it
And
accommodates.
and obviously, I know that people can go there and have drinks. Do you guys have food as well if people, just want a little snack and that kind of thing?
Absolutely. Best wings in Lloydminster, actually. Have you been?
Not yet, but it sounds like I need to go.
You do. You need to go. You come down, I'll set you up.
Perfect. Well, let's talk about the fact that, this is a business that has been around in Lloydminster for quite some time. And if people haven't checked it out, Strider, what would you say when they come in? What's the atmosphere?
From what I've heard, customer feedback is that the atmosphere is very welcoming. It's very relaxed. It's chill. It's got a very homey feel to it where you can just relax and be yourself. You don't have to worry about anything. And that's what people like. They just feel at home here.
And if people are looking for more information about the grand opening or about bands that are coming up or events, what's the best place to find that information, Strider?
Best place to go is Facebook. I'm working on a web page. It's not completely done yet, though it is live. stickspoolhall.com. But the best place is the Facebook page. So there's the Sticks Billiards Lounge Facebook page, but there's also Lloydminster Karaoke Facebook page as well. That focuses more on just the karaoke end of it, what's going on in that end. And then the Sticks Billiards Lounge posts the pool tournaments and the bands that are coming and any other stuff that we're doing. It's kind of the catch-all page.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And we encourage everybody to come out to come out on a regular basis, but the grand opening happening later next week as well. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak about the pool hall. Really appreciate it.
Let's take a look now at your upcoming community events in our weekly edition of What's Happening.
There's plenty of fun activities planned for the entire family this weekend at Kitscotty Days. The fun begins this evening and it's going to continue tomorrow with a full day. You can start your day tomorrow morning with a pancake breakfast out in Kitscotty. They've got a kids bike tournament, a kids market, a kids area that's going to be full of bouncy castles and more. There's going to be a chance to play bingo, a beanbag tournament, plus they have baseball games running throughout the weekend. And coming up tomorrow night, they've got live music from Braden King, followed by fireworks, weather permitting. For all the details, you can go online to kitscottydays.com. Move for Mentoring in support of Big Brothers Big Sisters is back. How are you going to get your movement in? Are you and your team going to play ball? Are you going to head out to the golf course and get a few rounds in? Maybe you're going to play basketball. Maybe it's going to be gardening. You get your team together, you choose the movement, and you collect pledges which support mentoring programs locally through Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lloydminster. And the great part, you've got until June the 10th to get your movement in. So get your team registered now. And if you'd like to get more details, you can call Big Brothers Big Sisters at 306-825-5757. Coming up this weekend, you just might find your new favorite coffee mug. The Spring Cleanup Garage Sale, it's being held at the Service Sports Center tomorrow. It is free to attend, so you can stop by and do a little bit of treasure hunting with your family. It runs from 8:30 tomorrow morning until 2 p.m. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is Brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
That's all we have for news. Sports is next, but first here's a look at your closing market.
Today's oil prices are brought to you by First General Services.
The Lakeland Wrestlers had a fantastic season, winning the CCAA National Championship. But that wasn't the only national award they brought home. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
Today I'm joined by Chris King, the head coach of the Lakeland Wrestlers women's basketball team, and he is here today to talk about him winning the CCAA Coaching Excellence Award. And thank you so much for joining me today, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me, Thomas.
And Chris, you won the CCAA Coach of the Year Award this year as well. What is the difference between the Coach of the Year Award and this Coaching Excellence Award?
So the CCAA Coaching Award is just for the sport of basketball. So I won that for the sport of basketball, which is awesome. It's a great honor. The Coaching Excellence Award is for all sports across Canada for the collegiate level, and it has to do with like service over the last 5 years, growth of basketball or growth of your sport. So it's quite a cool recognition. I didn't really even understand it till Rogan explained it to me, and yeah, very honored to have it. Obviously, it wouldn't happen without the great support of our athletic director, Alan Rogan, and having great assistant coaches like Marissa Lindquist and Tori Dugan to help me out. And of course, whenever these awards are won, it's usually because you have really great athletes and players in your program.
And Chris, what are some of the highlights over these last 5 years that have led to you getting such a prestigious award?
It's quite a phenomenal run for our program. It's took a lot of time to get here and a lot of hard work, but if you look at it now, we've won 3 of the last 4 ACAC championships. We got a bronze medal at nationals, a gold medal at nationals, and one we didn't get to go to because of COVID. So our program now has went from, back when in 2008, when I came here, we were 4-20 every year. And I think the last 4 years, we've went something like 112. So like our winning percentage is very strong, but we have good athletes coming into the program and we have good retention, and they're really buying into our culture. And I think, if you look at the successful programs in any sport, it has a lot to do with the culture. So we really highlight, those championship years. But one of the most important things that happened to our program was winning our first bronze medal at ACACs, being so close to going to nationals, and the team that we lost to eventually won nationals. I think that really started everything for our program.
And you've talked about your assistant coaches as well as Alan Rogan as your athletic director. How big have they been in your success over these past 5 years?
I think first off, Marissa Lindquist, the former player, has been with us for, I think, 8 or 9 years. So she's been phenomenal, and she coaches Team Alberta U15. She's coached in Nova Scotia. She's kind of coached all over. So she's fantastic. And then to get Tori Dugan back, our former All-Canadian, played professionally and now is like skills development expert. Having those two, and they know how I coach, they know my expectations. So that's been really great. And I can't speak enough to seeing other schools across the province, how much it means to have the same leadership. And Al Rogan as the athletic director, to have the same athletic director for all 16 years I've been here. The vision stayed the same. He's very consistent. It makes it easy to work for someone when they're consistently there day in and day out. It's really tough. It's really tough when you have leaders that are coming and going, and the direction changes. So at Lakeland, we've been very blessed, and I think all of our programs have really blossom because of Rogan's direction.
And we'll look to the future now, Chris. How are the preparations coming for the 2024-25 season for the Lakeland Wrestlers?
Yeah, we have 14 of 19 players back off that national championship team. So our hope is to be back in that same game next year out in Atlantic. I think it's in Fredericton. But it takes a lot of luck and a lot of hard work. So our goal is to be back in that same spot. I think our girls are pretty hungry for it. And leaving last year with the national championship at home with the event that Lakeland put on and all of our community, I don't think there's going to be a feeling that's going to top that. But they're hungry for the same thing. So once you win and get that taste of winning, you're almost hungrier for it. So now we kind of have to defend, and it'll be a very tough process, but I hope our girls are up for it, and the off-season training's been going pretty well so far.
Thank you so much for your time today, Chris, and congratulations on winning the CCAA Coaching Excellence Award.
Let's take a look at your 3-day forecast for Lloydminster. And the weekend is going to look a bit rainy, 60% chance of rain on Saturday with a high of 15 and a low of 5. Sunday, no sunshine at all, 58% chance of rain, high of 18, low of 7. And Monday, we are going to finally be experiencing that summertime weather with a high of 20 and a low of 8. And that is all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great night.